good, everyone? It's currently Saturday. I think it's just past 1 p.m. now, so it's pretty late. I got out of bed about half an hour ago, so gonna be a pretty lazy Saturday, trying to get up and get things done. My parents are coming into town tomorrow, so gotta clean up the apartment a bit just so it doesn't look as bad as it does right now. So I'm gonna clean up some things. Gotta go pack and ship out some orders, so that's why it's kind of so messy on the ground right now. After I finish up packing, I'm gonna pick up the camera, and of course we can talk about the markets, how I've been trading, as well as just where everything's at this moment. Alright guys, so it's been a long time, way too long, but finished packing these 1, 2, 3, 4 items. I'm gonna go ship those out. It's always a pain to ship because I don't have a printer in my apartment, so I gotta walk to the library, then walk back, and then pack, and then go. So I really hate it, but you know, after you sell these items, I can get some money, throw it into some, you know, just have some more capital, which is always great. So I'm gonna ship these off. Post office or the UPS store is only about a 2-minute walk, and then once I get back, I'll start talking about the markets. I have a lot to say, so hopefully you guys stick around. Also, if you guys are curious what I'm selling, one of the items, disregard that 50 bag of classic mix. There's no chips actually in there, but selling some of these KDs. They're pretty nice. Not really making much out of it, so don't think I'm making bank. And then I sold some Jordan 3 Black Cats that just released, but I don't have another pair to show you guys, so yeah.
A few moments later.
Alright, so we are back home now. Got the charts open, got my Celsius, and let's talk a little bit about the markets. Before I get into it too much, I wanted to say thank you for the support I've been getting in all these videos. I don't know, honestly, if these are like real people watching, so if you guys are a real person and you're watching this, if you could leave a comment or a like or something, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, I've been getting views and, you know, likes as well, but just not a lot of comments, so I'm just like kind of scratching my head, like there's not a ton of engagement comments wise, so if you guys could leave a comment, I'd appreciate it. But enough of that. So where have I been? You know, especially with the challenge, I'm sure kind of elephant in the room, like how's the challenge going? What have you been up to? Like what's been happening? So ultimately, I mean, this was one of my last posts related to the challenge. Where is that? Right here. I swung Apple shorts, and to be quite transparent here, once I swung this, I mean, we gapped down and I couldn't even get an exit. So I ended up holding it for a little bit too long during the day, cut that, switched into something else, and it didn't work out. So ultimately, I kind of burnt this challenge. I mean, I ended with about like 65 bucks, and at that point in time, I was just like, you know what, screw it. Just withdrew that money. There was no point in trying to flip 65 bucks because I probably would have done some pretty dumb shit and lost that. So just put that towards groceries essentially. But that wasn't really the reason why I stopped posting. This small challenge really didn't mean much to me. It was more so just personal reasons. But in the past week, I've gone back into trading a bit more. So I really wanted to give you guys an update. So unfortunately, this challenge didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. If you guys want me to start it up again, let me know. I'm probably going to do it on Robinhood if you guys really want me to. But to be honest, I don't really want to do that challenge. What I really want to do is just give you guys my thoughts on the markets, reflect on the markets, and then just post whenever I feel like it, because I feel like when I'm forcing trades, you know, just to post a new video on this challenge, it makes me kind of emotional and jump into trades that I don't want to jump into, that I probably shouldn't jump into, actually. That's what I should say. And it doesn't really work out. So when I'm a bit more patient and I don't have that kind of like pressure to post a video about the challenge, it definitely takes some weight off my shoulders, and I think I can trade a bit better. So if you guys like this type of video where I'm just kind of reflecting and talking about weekly recaps, not really challenge related, let me know also, and I'm definitely willing to do that. So One last thing I'll say is like I don't really like trading on Webull. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The only reason I did was because I wanted to separate, like I said, my main account from my challenge account. But I mean, it's just like to the Webull traders, I guess like saying that I trade on Robinhood isn't like it's not like the most it's not like the strongest take. It's like, oh, like imagine like I don't like trading on Webull. And I'm the person that trades on Robinhood, right? I know Robinhood gets a lot of shit, gets a lot of slack, but I'm just so accustomed to it. Also, when I trade on Robinhood desktop, it's so like easy for me to enter, exit. I think it's just a lot quicker because when I'm on Webull, I don't know if there's probably a Webull desktop, but I trade on my phone and like it's just the interface is not as great in my opinion, and getting sells is not as just intuitive for me. So I can probably stick with Robinhood with that. But with that being said, enough talking about that and the challenge. Let's talk about what's been happening recently. Again, how I've been trading over the past week. So, in the beginning of the year, I posted January 6th. My main account challenge, or just my main account trading, has not been going well. I actually had a pretty rough start to the beginning of the year, and it just wasn't a good environment, I think. And also, just my trading strategy wasn't working with the price action that we were getting. Let me see where January, like beginning of January was. I don't know. I just wasn't seeing the market really well. I was kind of getting killed. I mean, in hindsight, it doesn't look too bad, but it was just not favorable for me. I'm not really gonna dive too deep in what happened because it's already January 25th, so I don't remember too well. But I just know, I'm trading 0 days, I'm trading Qs, and I was just kind of getting killed. I guess overall just kind of choppy, not a lot of direction. I mean, we've been seeing some good direction to the upside as of recent, but towards the beginning of January, I mean, we've more so just kind of been in the zone where, I mean, we've had days like this where it's like we're probably not even up or down like 0.3% on Qs, right? Basically flat, which obviously kills me. I've kind of been switching away from trading 0 days, and that's really been helping me this week. I think I'm gonna try and continue doing that. So what I'd normally do now is I keep up with news, I keep up with data, and kind of like whenever I have free time, I will look at Qs as my first reference point. I'll see if I see some relative strength or weakness in the NASDAQ. And then from there, I will target, if I have a bullish bias on Qs, I will target bullish names in the tech sector. If I'm bearish, I will target bearish names in the tech sector. So I have a watch list here. This is not a comprehensive watch list, but a lot of things I've been trading recently is Nvidia. I've been trading Tesla recently. I've been trading a little bit of Apple. So just a lot of tech stock names, but trading them selectively based on how I feel on the NASDAQ as a whole. So I had a really solid trade on Nvidia, and that kind of gave me the confidence to continue trading stock names, because when you're trading 0 days, obviously it's not super favorable, but when you have a little bit more time on your contracts and you're trading weekly contracts on tech, you can still get a lot of volatility and gains, but you're able to not absolutely get killed on your position based on 1 day's price action. So I had a really solid trade on Nvidia. On the 21st, we got a really strong move in intraday. Now I was long Nvidia because the price action looked great in my eyes. Yeah, exactly right here. So 21st. So I kind of entered long on kind of close to before we got the breakout move, and the reason was because we kind of had this setup where it was like here. Now I'm not going to call it head and shoulder because that's not what I look at it as. I don't look at it like that. I don't really look at patterns and whatnot, but it was just kind of this U-shaped recovery in this larger time frame, and we were kind of getting this setup here. So just imagine you don't see any of this price action, this breakout move, and you're just right here, and you're sitting right here. So consolidating kind of right at pre-market on January 16. And yeah, we just looked really strong relative to the NASDAQ. So I went long on Nvidia, and obviously that news with AI and Trump helped out a lot. We got a really strong boost. My contract average was 31 cents. I had about 13 contracts. I sold most of it around 70 cents, so I wasn't holding overnight on it. Like I said, these are just kind of runners, and I got really, really lucky with that. Ultimately, if you guys want some free levels on Nvidia, target 144.35, 143.91 are strong areas of volume where price action likely will come back to. And yeah, as you can see here, here's an attestment to that. Pump, consolidate here, kind of have this like bullish triangle, and then we break out. Now we head back down, shoot back down, and then we retest that zone, and then we reject, and now we're in this downside, and now we're recovering. You can see us break back up in the pre-market. Well, we get a candle to push us right down and get bought up, and then we just head higher, again respecting the levels, head down in the pre-market, holding these levels, and then we're headed back higher. And now on Friday, I had a really solid trade. I took the breakdown of this zone. Like I said, it's a strong high volume area. So if you see a breakdown move that's confirmed, you can likely see some more amplified downside, which is exactly what we got on Friday. It doesn't bode too well, I guess, with this next week that's coming up. I'm honestly not too bullish, just with big tech earnings still around the corner, and that weekly close was not the best. But I think a lot of it has to do with, obviously a lot of AI hype was boiled in with Trump's comments and whatnot, and we got a really strong push towards the beginning of the week last week, and then kind of towards Friday some reality set in, and we got a strong red day to close the week off. Am I surprised? Not really. Like I said, it was a little bit overhyped. I mean, we got a really strong move the days before that, so we definitely needed some time to cool off, to digest some of Trump's comments. And we saw that with other names like Oracle, I believe. Oracle pumped a lot because I think they were one of the larger beneficiaries of Trump's comments on AI policy. And I mean, we're still holding pretty strong. I'm not too familiar with Oracle. I didn't trade it, but I just know that's one of the beneficiaries that we saw as a very, very strong move on. So overall, I'm going to continue trading tech names probably. That's kind of my bread and butter. So what do I normally trade? I still can trade Qs if I like the price action. I will trade 0 days. I'm not abandoning it completely, but I mean, I might trade it like 10% of the time. Like, I've really, really switched over to trading stocks. I think it's a lot better for me, especially when I'm in school full time. I mean, when you're holding 0 days, it's a lot more pressure, a lot more stressful, and a lot of times it can be disastrous. So maybe if I see a really, really strong setup, I might trade 0 days, but if not, I'm probably going to stick to weekly contracts on tech names. So I trade, like I said, Tesla, Apple. I trade Nvidia. I don't really trade Meta. It's a little expensive, but like I said, bread and butter, Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, some ARM too from here and there. Maybe I'll add some other names, but I trade very big tech names because you still get some strong volume on those positions and good liquidity, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Again, I still trade Qs. I also trade IWM from here and there. IWM is a good sector to look at when sometimes the tech sector isn't too favorable and you kind of want to get out of the tech space. IWM is something good to look at. Sometimes it's relatively stronger than tech. Sometimes it's weaker. It just depends on the day overall. So as far as next week goes, when's earnings? I think, it's the 25th. So I would assume, I think tech earnings are next week, right? I think Apple's coming out on the 31st, if I'm not wrong, somewhere around there. But again, I'm not too optimistic. Overall, one of the largest short names I'm looking at is Apple. Apple has been so weak. Why? Well, because Apple's just been behind on the AI race. I think they've been trying to create some AI tools within the Apple infrastructure, but it just hasn't worked out well compared to a lot of the other big tech like Google, like Amazon, like Meta. I think they're definitely winning in the AI race relative to Apple. And then we're also seeing Apple's China sales, continue to get killed. I don't know. It's a bit worrisome. the way we can see it play out is we can see some blood leading into earnings. We might see a poor earnings and get a gap down, and in that moment it'll probably be an amazing time to go long term and buy Apple. Obviously it's still a very sound name, still a lot of room to the upside. So if we get this kind of like just full out bear sentiment on Apple, that could be your time to go long on your long-term portfolio. But like I said, as of now, it's just there's no reward to going long on Apple when there's just so much negativity behind it. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I know I talked a lot. I'm not really sure how I'm going to edit this video. If you guys watch to the end, I really appreciate it. Again, if you guys could leave a like, leave a comment, I'd really appreciate it. One of my main goals in 2025, among other things, obviously like trading well and like personal goals, academic goals, one of my other goals is to become monetized on YouTube, and I still got a little bit of a way, and I'm gonna do my part and try and post more videos. But if you guys can give me suggestions on what you guys are looking to watch, definitely will take that into consideration, because ultimately you guys dictate whether or not I get good engagement, right? You guys watch things that you enjoy, so if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. With that being said, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.